Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Slightly hay-fevered boy here, and welcome along to the Circuit de Villeneuve, the Ile Notre Dame Circuit, location in Parc Jean-Drapeau, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, of course, for the 4.361km circuit. Welcome to the Kia Series. My name, as I said a second ago, is Mr. Evil Dragon, aka Liam New. Joining me, it's not Red Matt. It is not Vectro, it is not the one who joined me last week, it's not Jacko, but it is the one and only person I keep calling Kai because that's his name, even though it's Kieran, it's Kai. Yes, it has already started, a fun race. Now Kai hasn't commentated in about a year, so he is more rusty than the Titanic right now, which is very rusty. So, we've got a Niels in. We've now got 12 people here. This is beautiful. There's now a 12th man. We like 12. Okiki's here. Okiki! Okiki's here. This. Did you know what this means to me? This is. Okay, I'm going to curse this man again. Oh no. The last time I've commented on Okiki, he died. So, welcome along to the 3.61km circuit around the Quebec, Canada's here. 35 laps around of the drivers. First race held in Canada, that was in 1961. This circuit, named in honour, of course, of Gilles Villeneuve, 1978 to 2008. Missed 09 due to budget reasons. Came back in 2010 until 2019. And, of course, missed a few years due to the thing we can't speak about. And then came back this year. So, it's going to be exciting. We're going to have a lot of fun. Indeed. So my favourite friend is in this lobby, Akiki. So he's going to have some fun because every time I commentate on him, he DNFs the race. Now, we have got 12 drivers here. We've got the likes of Yuri, Nils, Jacko, Jake, who has a quali ban for being naughty last week. Naughty, Mr. J. We've got Indecisive, we've got Newgarden, we've got Ben, we've got Hasselager the first, we've got Kingen, Excite, we've got Jessica, we've got a KK, and then we've got Hasselager the second. And it is the Hasselagers that have been doing very well this season, but we'll get along towards that in due course. But what is the crucial thing around this circuit is going to be who's going to be doing what in qualifying, because it is very crucial for your one lap to hook this track up, because it's very easy to go off circuit. Yep. 11:45 should be the first car, as far as I'm aware, unless there's been an updated schedule. Let me have a look back up in the chat if there's any updates that I haven't seen. If there's any updates, no, there is not. So our qualifying standing of our drivers will follow. It'll be Jake out first, though he will be doing an installation lap only. We've got Mr. OKK to be doing a lap time. We've got then Ben Harriott coming out at 9:30, Michael Goris at 8:45, a few seconds ahead of Niels at 8, and then of course at 7:15 Matt King will take us for his lap time in the 46, 6:30 for Isaac ahead of 5:45 for Jack Ricketts. At 5 o'clock we have Lee Hasselager. From 4:15 we'll have Jess. From 3:30 we'll have Yuri, and from 2:45 we'll have Matt Rosmond taking the field out. That just sounds like I'm reading off a programme right there, but I trust you, we're not. Though that is technically your schedule in reverse order there. So, because if we were going from time, it would be Matt out first, but obviously from this way it counts down, so you know what I mean, okay, so leave me alone. So, here we are then, and we are just getting ready in a few moments' time, but you have the order of the drivers, if I'm not mistaken, so I'm going to let you do it. Yes. Now, we have an issue. We can only hear me. You should probably turn your mic on. See, this is we did a test here to see if everything worked. That's the only thing we didn't do when we did all of our settings to figure out what was going on.
Okay, is it working now? I am so sorry about that.
Thomas,
I thought that was
can you hear us?
Oh no. I'm hoping it's now on. Apologies about that.
No. What a tragic disaster has happened in the first 5 minutes. We've blown it already. Oh no.
My first JACKOCAR commentator's career's gone with an absolute nightmare. Oh dear.
Oh, it's in the so Thomas, we can hear each other. So say hello, Kai, to everyone in the chat this time. And,
apologies.
And now you can do the order again.
Okay, so apologies about that. Jake Warrior obviously is leading us in the playoffs now, with Leroy and Yuri second and third. Only separated by 1 point is Leroy and Yuri, the two brothers. And then it's Matt Rosamond, who is 1 point behind Yuri and 2 points behind Leroy. Barry Baldwin is 5 points behind Matt in fourth. Obviously, Barry and also Michael O'Sullivan needs to get into the top 4 to make it into the Championship 5. Jessica Ball at the moment is the one who is going to be eliminated unless she can jump Michael O'Sullivan or Barry Baldwin to make it into the next round. I believe it's the same as the Cup Series. And then we have the chase standings. At the moment, Cameron Blair is leading everyone off. However, it can all change by literally one win, one race. And Sullivan Lewis, Jack Ricketts, and Isaac Edemar, I believe that's how you say it, only a few points behind, only 4 points off making, getting ahead of Cameron Blair. And then we have Matry, Niels, Thomas, Michael, and Billy Watts, who are all still on 500 points from where they reset points, but are still only 5 points behind making the chase, so it is still all to play for.
In DFC, the regular season championship was decided last week as well, with, I believe it was Jake winning that actually. Well, he's leading the standings, obviously he did. But he had a bit of issues, he's got a bit of a penalty, but he is leading that one as well as far as I remember. Now remember, by the way, your Jokers is lap 17 and 14 if I'm not too mistaken right there, so excited for all of that one. In just a minute's time, we'll have our first driver on the circuit. That will be the man of Mr. Jake W. Combs, and our favourite friend, the bot. My favourite bot friend is in the chat. Oh no, he's invaded us, the bot. Oh god, he's back. I thought I got rid of him, and he's returned. Oh no.
Oh, I just looked.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Kai, stop looking at it. Oh no, Kai's going to see it. Oh no, we're done for now, and oh dear. So, we have a little bit of an issue in the chat with the bot, but ignoring the minor issue with the bot, everything is perfectly fine. Just don't look at the bot in the chat. We'll all be okay. I can't ban the bot because I'm not a moderator, but it's a bit of an issue right there. And any second now is going to be doing. Kaya says, how are you two doing? I'm good.
Pretty well, yeah.
We are just ready to go. In any second, right now, in about 10 seconds, we'll see Jake pulling out the pit lane in about 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come out.
He's coming out!
And he's here! He's coming out on the circuit right on cue, and you love to see it then. So, the first car on circuit for only the installation that minus, but we've got a car, and that's the key thing. A car is on the circuit, and that is the key. We like seeing a car driving his Technicolor dream coat of colours, because it's 3 colours. It's blue, it's red, it's yellow. So that is my analogy of that livery. Of its 3 different, well technically 4, because I mean there's also the black and there's white as well. So I mean technically 5 colours. I mean technically 2 of them are a shade, but we won't go into that. There is actually there's grey on there as well, so there's multiple colours. There's a few shades of grey on the car that we like to see. But before he comes to the chicane, and he'll be coming straight into the pit lane. So he's just going for it. Kai's reported the bot like a good little man he is. Love to see it. He's coming through the hairpin. and then straight into the pit. Then who is next to start a lap time? I am looking at...
It is Michael Okeke.
So Okeke, excellent. And there he is, Mr. Okeke, out on circuit. The man who has been cursed every single time I've commentated on him. So if Jacko thought he was going to be safe, we know nothing. The bot has changed. You broke the bot. Now he's changed to a different thing. Oh no! What have you done?
Oh no! Just don't click on the bot. That's all I recommend. I can report the bot, but it's annoying. We can't really do much else about it.
Here we are then, looking at Mr. Michael Okeke. Well, we're not looking at Okeke because there's an Aramco sign. Game. There we go. And we're back. We're now looking at other things. Things are going swimmingly right now. The camera angles here, but we are just coming down into the hairpin. I will take you through all of the corner names on this circuit in a few seconds. We just get ready for our first lap time of the session by Mr. Okeke. My good old friend, who we were going to play Jacko Golf, but unfortunately due to Jacko being hungover from jet lag, we didn't play Jacko Golf. So Jacko Golf will return, hopefully, next Monday, which will be nice to see, and hopefully we'll have a few people in there as well. But here we go then, on and on board lap with Okeke as he comes through the last corner to Big N as he crosses the start line as we go then down towards turn 1, which is called turn 1, and then to Virard Senna, turn number 2. Very easy to get on the curb on the inside. Very easy for the rear end to snap on the outside as well as you come up to 3. This is where Sebastian Vettel had his moment in 2019. Nice through there as you chuck it through the exit. Get as close to the wall as you like as you go through 4 into 5 and then break down into 6. Spot the right hand side where the tarmac is, then onto the curb on the left. Careful on the curb on the right because it's easy to get the rear end snapping here as you come up 7 and then down into 8 and 9. Long little run here, a little bit of a kick. DRS wide open for Okeke. Chucks it over the right, the rear end just about wants to stick. You can see him having to take a little bit of a switch as you then come into El Pringle as the corner name, El Pringle, which just sounds intriguing. The hairpin where Robert Kubica had that monumental jump back in 2007. On the exit as you come down the Casio straight. And of course the AKA Dute de Casio, the straight as well, if you did not know. And then of course it is the Quebec Wall, or most commonly known as the Wall of Champions. Slightly braking zone, hit the curb on the right, a little bit oversteering on there, almost locked it on the entrance, but he crosses the line right now to be the fastest time because the only one that's going to be a 1 minute 11.2, 1 minute 10.9, so not too far off.
I think through where the Wall of Champions is, he realised that he was going to corner cut. So he kind of turned left to avoid that, but while he did that, he also really ruined his run. But apart from that, it was a very decent lap from Michael, so yeah, I think he should be happy with that.
Next up, we've got Ben crossing the line right now. Ben for Spurs, and let's see what he can do. Born in 1996, as he comes through over the chicane, invalidates it. That's what exactly you said would have been the issue. His next to cross line will be then Excite.
Yeah. Ooh, I thought he was going to go out of shape there, but it seems like the game's way of showing us just really glitchy.
Yeah, it is. BMW livery, I always say. It reminds me of the new BMW liveries currently as he comes through towards the hairpin. 42.1, the fastest middle sector of them all. Through the hairpin she goes. And let's see what Mr. Excite can do in her lovely car he's running. Right now, as I'm mixing up my words right now, I'm 100% saying it, but here comes Excite, and let's see what he can do in his car, through the chicane, up to the line, keeps it nice and shallow, all the way to the right, drifts out left, so he's going to spot a bit of speed, and it's only P2 then. Okeke so far on pole position still. Next up, we've got Nils. He has invalidated. Now that, an issue for him. Indecisive on a lap time. We've got Kingan beginning an out lap as well, so leads to the next 2 to start the laps. But so far, Okeke, 1 out of 4.
Maybe Okeke's luck might have changed, finally. I don't want to jinx it, but fingers crossed he might be able to have a good result tonight. Because I think everyone wants to see some luck for Okeke. After he's had such horrific luck in literally every tier, maybe finally he can have a bit of luck, but we'll have to see. We have indecisive on a lap as well.
Indeed we do. Up the hill and then down, spot your braking zone here, around about 75-metre board right there. Slightly downhill braking, so it's very easily for the car just to not really want to stop. As you now slightly spot your braking zone right through the shadows you come. That look pretty decent for Indecisive, who's running a very intriguing livery of blue and green. I'm not sure what his livery was for, he just sent me the photo of it. Just might be a bit of a Jordan, to be fair, as he comes into the right and left. No, keep calm, no heroics into Sandoval. However, he unfortunately took a little bit too heroics there and invalidated. I can't speak today, it turns out. Next up, we've got Jacko and Kingan on their lap times.
Who's furthest?
Kingan.
Furthest up. Kingan. So let's see how he does on his lap. We know I used to be teammates with him in a previous league. However, getting a bit out of shape there. Going through turn 7, is that? Turn 7?
Yeah.
Fastest sector 2, I believe that is.
9, I think will be correct. That corner as he comes into 10. That was a pretty decent sector. And now all the way down the Casio straight, and you've pretty much got to spot your braking zone. Eventually, as you pass where the old rowing boats used to be on the left, of course, the old Olympic Stadium. It is raining outside, I've noticed. In real life, through the chicane, it comes Kingan nice and close to the wall of champions. Up the line now, he will take that shallow line and will go fastest then. 1 minute 10.3 for him.
As we watch on board with Jacko, he has actually spun it,
yes.
So
oh dear.
He will be starting at least, yeah, at least 5th, but I expect some of these guys to set laps, so it'll probably be around at least 8th, I'd say.
Next up, we've got Leroy coming across there. Let's see what he can do in his car as well. The man who is 2nd place in the championship so far, hoping for a better run of form as well as he comes through turn 7 and 8, and then he come up to 8 and 9 as well. So, short track around here in Canada. We've got Jess coming up to start her lap time in just a few moments as well. Yellow flags at turn number 1 as 1 and 2 cars gets out of the way. But as per usual here in JACKOCAR, it is the driver who sets the lap time and doesn't invalidate, normally gets the best result.
Yeah, so for example, Jacko we know is quite quick, but he didn't invalidate, but he did spin.
But he
so
did invalidate. And he'd spun and invalidate, to be fair. So I mean, that's...
yeah, so he will be struggling. Meanwhile, we have Leroy. He hasn't invalidated, and it looks like this might be the quickest lap. It is by a solid, what, 5/10 is that? Yeah, I think so.
5/10
So
with Jessica next up then. So with Leroy setting the pace, let's see what the lovely Miss Jess can do then. Down into the hairpin, spots the braking zone on the right. That looked pretty smooth through there, and she of course has been getting very good results in the last couple of races. Got a load of 4ths and a few 5ths, and every time she says she's going to have a bad race. She hasn't messaged me this time saying she's going to have a bad race. So if she does have a bad race, then it's just truthful. She's hit the ball.
Ooh.
She's really hit the ball there. And she know exactly what I just said, right? She hasn't messaged me saying she's going to have a bad race, and now she's crashed. So I'm not going to say I told you, but I told you.
still finishing the lap though, didn't invalidate, so that still puts up her at least P5, so it's better than last. And it will still help her in the standings if she finishes 5th. I think even if she gets 5th, she'll jump into 6th if I'm not mistaken, so yeah.
Next up we've got Mr. Yuri Lennon, and he's removed his thing saying to finish first you have to finish, so I can't curse him on that now. Like I say, like, lost the rear end as well on the exit, so a little bit of a twitch right there as you come up through the gears and all the way to the line in any second now, as looks like I don't think Thomas is going to get in because we've got 30 seconds, but here comes Yuri up to the line, keeps it shallow. Is it pole? It's 2nd.
Wow. On medium tyres as well, that is going to be crucial for the race if he's starting on those medium tyres, which I'm sure he will unless it rains, but I don't know why he'd qualify on mediums if it was going to rain. So yeah, very good lap, 110.1 on mediums. Don't even think half the cup drivers could do that, so that's going to be lap to beat. He's going to be very quick in the race, I reckon.
indeed. Here comes Newgarden into the hairpin. 1 second, 0 seconds, and that is qualifying officially done. And Newgarden, the last car to finish a lap time, and let's see what he can do running the golden blue then for him as he comes up to the spot the braking zone around about the 75-metre zone as per usual here as he chucks it into the right, gets it hooked up onto the left, doesn't hit the wall of champions on the exit, up to the line, and let's see what he can do. And it's 4th position for Newgarden.
Yeah, so Leroy on pole position, only by 3/10 ahead of his brother, who's on starting on medium, so this is going to make this a very interesting first 5-10 laps, presuming there's no safety car. Kinjen as well, I think his name's Kinjen, I don't know what his actual name is, and Newgarden as well. Very close, 3rd and 4th, only separated by 44 milliseconds, so that's very close, and it's what we like to see as well.
And
a close
breaking
grid.
news, Thomas Never has got it in by 1 second. He's got into the session. He will be racing here today by the minuscule margin, and that there has to be one of the biggest moments for him there. That is lovely to see.
It'll be very useful as well because he is in the chase and is only 5 points off 5 points off 11th place, who at the moment is Cameron Blair. So yeah, definitely big moment for him. If he didn't make that, could have been the moment of the season for him. So yeah, definitely crucial for him to get in.
Yeah, indeed. Hasselager and Hasselager, your top two then. And that is Leroy and Yuri there. And then we've got Kingham, the Swedish driver, ahead of the quadruple Brett, ahead of the entire world, ahead of the other Brett. Then the lovely Scotsman of Mr. Never. Then we've got Jake, and then we've got the Englishman of Indecisive. Then we've got Ben down the back as well. So, a few people didn't set lap times. Jake's actually going to start higher than he would have with the quali ban, which I find very amusing because he actually manages to do that for some reason. So lucky for him.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. Obviously, you've got some of the fast start guys, should I say, at the back, and so it's going to make this a much more entertaining race. And yeah, I reckon it's going to be a good fight between top 3, top 4 for tonight's race, and I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, that's for sure.
Yes, indeed. If you're just new to JACKOCAR, don't forget, by the way, that you have to do a 2-stop mandatory. If you stop under the safety car, you are allowed to do it, but that will not count towards your mandatory pit stops. It means that you do have to do another one later on. This is compared to the previous season. If you pitted under the safety car, you would have got a penalty. So you are allowed to pit, so if you have done your 2 stops, you can then, of course, pit in under safety car to get new tyres, though, of course, you do lose your playoff points. Well, I think everyone loses a playoff point if they do not do their mandatory stop. One driver on the Joker button, that's Thomas Never. He will be hopefully doing a 1-stop strategy, as my voice decided it wanted to go right there. So, who is going to be winning this race as we get underway on our formation lap then? It is Hasselagers again on the front row, and we've seen these guys get awfully close in the past.
Yeah, these two are definitely rivals on and off track, I reckon. We also, Y-Racer is not the only driver should I say, on the medium tyres, as Jacko and Thomas have already got disqualified out of the session. Jake is also on medium tyres, the only other driver apart from Yuri, who is on medium tyres. So this is going to make a very entertaining race, I reckon. Different strategies, drivers a bit out of position than what they normally would be. It's going to be exciting, I reckon.
Yeah, most certainly, but it's the Hasselagers first and second. We've seen this before, and they've got awfully close in the past. Let's hope today we do not see any issues. Behind them, Kingan in third. He's going to be hoping for a good race. Then comes Newgard. Then comes, I suppose, our admin, Mr. Michael OKK. Then my favourite man, Mr. Okiki, who is lagging ever so slightly, which you love to see. Then comes Excite. Then comes Jess, who I've absolutely cursed so far this afternoon. So yeah, that's always good as well. Then comes Nels, Jacko, and Never, who both ran into each other on the formation lap, but they've both apologised for that one. Then comes Jake, Indecisive, and Ben down at the back. So Jake will start 2 positions higher than he would otherwise, which is lucky for him.
Yeah, it would definitely help him in the race as well, getting up the extra few spots, because imagine if the 2 guys ahead of him crash out, he won't have to worry about that anymore because they're behind him. Hopefully we don't see that, but always just what if. But it's no what if, it's what's now happening for this Canadian Grand Prix.
Indeed, last car on the grid, I think. I mean, the camera's not showing the last car on the grid, but I'm 100% certain it is. So we are just waiting then. Last car on the grid, there's the indicator. 1, 2, 3. Maybe not. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Look, but never stare because the Canadian Grand Prix is underway. Looks like Hasselhager has got a good start there. Good start as well for Kingen into second position, but it's Yuri round the outside holding that line then into second position. Up the field there, Ben making overtakes. We've got Jacko in trouble at the back. Someone else going off the road there. Looks like that's indecisive, or Ben having a mistake as well. As you can see, Okiki there, virtual safety car has been deployed.
Someone's front wing went flying off in turn 1. I think quite a lot of the front runners actually ran it over, but no one seems to have a puncher, which is good. I want to say it might have been Jacko who might have been involved in that, because he has dropped a ton of positions.
He hasn't lost his front wing. I'm trying to see who's got damage.
It was a green front wing.
It might have been indecisive potentially, but it looks like he's still got his front wing there, unless I'm very much mistaken, as he's dropping down. Everything looks like I've got the front wing, so I'm not sure. Oh dear, Yuri and Leroy, both your top 2 with a drive-through penalty. Can you believe it? Your top 2 with a drive-through, and that there is catastrophic mistakes there. The Hasselhagers have blown their chances. We've got Okiki. He's off already. He's dropped it at the back, but the top 2 both with penalties and both in at the same time.
That is very unusual. Both brothers just making the same mistake. I've never seen anything like that before. That is going to make this race 10 times more interesting than it already was.
Indeed, King and then leads them from Newgarden next site. Then comes Thomas Never up from pretty much the back of the grid to 4th so far. He's just ahead of Ben Spurs. Then comes Jess in 6th, indecisive ahead of Jacko, who's on the hunt. The man who is hoping for a good result here today. Hasn't really had the best couple of results in the last few races, but he's hoping for a bounce back. Then comes Jake. Your championship leader is Thomas Never there, battling alongside as Ben tries to go around the outside at turn number 7. And I think he's got the job done right there. Of course, Thomas, he's going to have a default setup because he joined the session a little bit late, so he wants to be careful with the grip on the car. As you can see, losing the rear end right there. But what a shot there from both of the Hasselhagers.
And I tell you what, they have both already caught up to the guys in front. They've already caught up to Jake and Jacko, this massive train which is going. I don't know who is leading it off, but yeah, it wasn't the most, like, the worst thing in the world for them, because it's not like they're like 26 seconds behind like Niels is, unfortunately. But we have Leroy into the pits again. This is for a pit stop, I believe.
Yeah, that'll be his first mandatory stop then, so he's getting out of the way. There's be a set of mediums then, I believe, then to the end. That's a good strategy for Leroy, leaving his brother Yuri to carry up. He's on the medium tyres, remember, as well, so I would not be surprised to see some people stopping a little bit earlier just to try and get off of these tyres. You can see Jake looking at the hind of Jack. I'm going to make a move on the outside or inside down here into 4, 5, 6, up into 7, and you can follow as close as you like. Indecisive losing the rear ever so slightly, but like I said, it's Kegan from Newgarden next site. Ben, then comes Thomas ahead of Jessica in 6th, then comes Indecisive, who's just about holding that line there. You're going to see Jacko. Is he going to go for a dive up the inside? He's lined it up the inside. He'll go late braking then from your league owner, I suppose, then, as he gets the move done. The answer is no, because here comes Mr. Indecisive fighting it back then. So he's fighting the establishment. Both of DRS, let's see, as Indecisive is going to have to slightly move to cover it, because Jacko will look We know Jacko's aggressive, and Jacko's going down the inside, gets it stopped. Though has he? No, he's hit the wall. He's hit the wall of champions, and from gaining one, he's lost one. As there comes Jake. He might have got away with it, though. Side by side, want to be careful here, as he's going to have to back out of that one. But Jacko, there is, in contact there between Jake and Indecisive, as Jacko losing the rear as well. It's all kicking off here in Canada.
It seemed like Jacko had a really good move, but he just could not slow down the car. I don't know if it was maybe the curves which kind of unsettled the car and he just couldn't slow down. Very unfortunate. I don't know if he's got front wing damage, but the fact he's carrying on and isn't losing too much time, he might be okay, but we'll find out next lap if he pits or not. But yeah, it looked really good. Meanwhile, we have Y-Racer who has made the move on
front
Jake.
Front end plate's gone, is that not? Does that look like the front end plate's gone on Jake's, if the camera angle shows it? Well, looking at the understeer, yes. The game isn't showing us the damage for the car, and the indicator will show us that front left end plate does indeed look like it's fallen off, so front that I'm not unsurprised. He did take a big whack on the rear. Is Jacko again losing the rear end, and here comes Michael Okiki, and it's this civil war here in JACKOCAR because it's Okiki versus Jacko, and we all love to see this as in comes Jake into the pit lane. This time he gets it nice and stopped. I've seen many accidents down there in the past. Remember Indecisive had an accident down there once upon a time. As you look further down the field, Okiki, Jacko together right now. Your two tier admins up the road. You can just see a little bit of a slide there from Yuri. Behind you can see Jake coming out of the pit lane. Remember, it is only around about a 16-second time loss around here, so it is not a long time. So realistically, a drive-through penalty does not lose you a lot of time, as Thomas Never is the first, well, isn't the first driver to pick up a penalty, but it's the first one I've seen to pick up a penalty other than the guys who picked up a penalty earlier, meaning he's the third person I've seen to pick up a penalty. And there is an incident. Is that? Please don't tell me that's Okiki off of the wall. Oh, Kiki!
Okay. Oh.
Okiki!
Oh, they got way too close there. That was a bit of a dangerous rejoin there. But then again, where could he really go in such a weird spot to really lose the car? Meanwhile, we have Indecisive and Jacko
still spurring away,
still fighting around 8th place.
I think, it's a bit close, but he's got the inside this time, and let's see then, as you can see up the road, looks like a potential move there, as I think he's just coming into the pit lane. Yes, he is. Jacko gets nice and stopped there, but Jess in as well as New Garden for a set of medium tyres for both of them. But poor old Okiki, as per usual in here, whenever I commentate, he has a mistake and goes off. So, oh dear lord, that was interesting. That looked like a reset of the pit lane ever so slightly, which was intriguing. Now last time I did commentate on Okiki, he did get stuck in the pit walls. So, I mean, I'm not going to say hopefully that doesn't happen, but if it does, that would be very my luck for him.
He just doesn't seem to have luck at all, but hopefully this isn't race over for him. He can make up the ground. Safety cars going to happen, virtual safety cars, and even 13th place, like every place you finish is still points at the end of the day, so it's definitely not over for him. Meanwhile, we do have a fight for P2 between Ben Spurs and Mexasai. I don't know what his actual name is. Meanwhile, Ben goes around, well, the inside, easy move with the DRS, and he's now up to P2.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to fight that one too heavily there, because I mean, it is a race here of attrition, isn't it? I mean, it's so easy to clobber a wall, and we haven't seen too many, as you can see. Meanwhile, Yuri closing up on the back of Thomas Never. Yuri now back up to 5th, as in comes Indecisive to try and cover off Jess, who should, I believe, as long as she doesn't hit the wall this time, be nice on her way and should come out quite clear of Indecisive. Remember, though, Indecisive will cut the inside of turn number 1, so it'll be closer than you think. He will come out pretty close, potentially. I think Indecisive actually had a really slow in that. I don't know if he's hit the wall somewhere, but that looked a lot slower than I thought it was. But everyone now has done their first mandatory stop. No safety cars so far. Lap 7. Niels picks up a 3-second time penalty. But so far, so good.
Yuri, I've noticed, has already got 6 seconds of penalties, and it's only lap 7. I do wonder if he's maybe driving with a bit of anger after that drive-through penalty, so you might need to calm it down a little bit. Try not to cut as many corners, because those 6 seconds could harm him so much at the end of the race.
In comes really slow into the pit lane. They're being very cautious here. I'm noticing, especially looking on board. I just cut to Excite doing about 30 miles an hour as he comes into the pit lane. It's a deceiving pit entry, I'll give them that. It's very easy to overshoot it. This has to be quite crucial in terms of Kingham's race. He got a yellow flag. Please don't let Kiki off again. Kiki. And see, do you know what I said earlier on? Every time Okiki races and I'm commentating, he has a bad race. It's happened again, hasn't it?
I think he might stay away from you for a while, that's for sure. But, he's so unlucky. The issue is now, if he pits again, which he's going to have to because he has no front wing, he's going to get lapped by Ben. Though saying that, he would have done his 2 stops where Ben wouldn't. So I guess it will be all dependent on when people's pit, and if we ever get a safety car as well, really. But yeah, very unlucky for KK so far. We also did, I don't know if you caught it, but Thomas is quite over the place. He dropped the place to Jacko with the pit stops, and now Kingan and Thomas are now fighting. And I think Kingan might easily
hasn't come in the pit lane, actually, has he? So Thomas is the only driver here because he is on his Joker. So he's staying out. Now he'll stay out probably until around about lap 10.
I think he might have front wing damage. I'm not quite sure. He seems to be really struggling to slow down the car or some sort.
And here comes New Garden to close up. Jacko in the pit lane, I believe. Is that? I'm trying to look to see who's where. Everything's a bit confusing.
He's got front wing damage, Jacko.
Jacko's in trouble. Is off the road there. Thomas never going at turn number 1. Everyone has just picked up a penalty at the space of 1 second, and Thomas is out. I think he's retired the car there. Something's not right. Something's very not right there. Does that look like a brake issue? Safety car. Does that look like a brake issue to you?
I'm not quite sure. It seems like he's really slowing down. He's struggling to slow down the car. That's for sure. He's now retired on track.
I think he's got a brake pedal issue. You know that looks very familiar to a brake issue.
I do wonder if, because obviously it's illegal to retire the car on track like that, but I wonder if Jacko will, let him off with that if it is a brake issue. I guess we will find out at some point. I don't imagine he would do that on purpose. He seemed to be struggling through the braking zones. So, who will make a stop in the safety car, if anyone will? Because this kind of helps out Yuri, but also doesn't benefit him. So, will he pit? No, he stays out.
Yeah, he's got to, because he's going to try and do his thing. I'm going to close my curtains, by the way, because the sun has come out and it's absolutely pouring with rain, so I can't see a thing.
Oh, God. Seems like no. Oh, we do have Nils who's in the pits. 9, and we also have Leroy also into the pits as well.
I'm back.
So we have 2 cars in the pits, Leroy and Nils.
Yep, so 2 non-mandatory stops.
Yep. Anyone else coming in? I don't think so. This really annoys OKK as well because he is now a lap down. He will not be able to unlap himself. He'll have to pit whenever the safety car comes in as well. So this really does ruin his race. So that is exactly not what he wanted. But yeah, unfortunate for him. So at the moment, the only person who hasn't pitted is Yuri, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So
he's done his 2 stops. Hasselager and Nils have still got to do another stop later on. They have done 2 stops, but remember, pitting under the safety car is illegal. By counted, it does not count to your mandatory stops. So those 2 will both have to stop. Now, I'm unsurprised that we're going to see one of them on the softs, one of them on the medium. So we could clearly tell here who's going on the aggressive here, and that is Nils. He's going to try and make up as many positions and gain as much time as he possibly can, and then stop again. Because, I mean, everyone else around him also has to stop one more time. So why don't you? If you're running down the back here and you're on a set of mediums, take a set of soft and then do the aggressive.
It's also the alternative strategy, which might work. Did I just see someone pull into the pits there? We did. It's OKK. I do wonder if he might be
getting to the back of the field, I reckon.
Oh,
because,
yeah,
remember, you have to pull into the pits. So I think he is covering that off, which, I mean, to be fair, is actually a very good thing to do. Add a 5-second stop go penalty, I believe, on top, or is that the game not letting you go?
Glitch. Oh no.
It might have been a 5 seconds.
They did the pit stop straight away.
But then held it for 5 seconds, so...
Yeah, that's a new one.
It's a reverse thing there, but out comes Okiki, who is about the back now, so he will be okay now. I believe he shouldn't have to peel into the pit lane. We should check on that one as well. So, oh dear.
Oh. His race gets worse and worse. He has done quite a smart thing of pitting and dropping himself straight to the back, because otherwise he would be 20 seconds behind absolutely everyone and a lap down. So this was probably the smartest move he could have done. So I've never thought of that in a race. But then again, I haven't actually been a lap down this season. Fingers crossed, touch wood, I won't be. But I now know if I ever end up in that situation, what to do. JACKOCAR is teaching me life facts, which I never thought I needed.
In this lap, clouds starting to come over. Now, I don't know what the weather is. I've not seen anyone say it's... I mean, Kai said it's going to be a full drive race, but Kai's not racing. So, I mean, I think Thomas, if he knows what the weather is, I don't know if he managed to get a visual on it, but he could tell me. But I don't know what the weather's going to be this afternoon. But remember, Yuri has to go just before the start line. He can't go too early, he can't go too late as we ride on board with the Dutch driver then here, as we are on lap 11 of 35, meaning we have 25 laps to go, give or take. As through the last corner he comes, warms the tyres up, King and alongside him behind, and wait, he got to wait into the 4th grid slot from the start. And that is around about there, and now you can go pretty well. And he's got that very well, to be fair. That's a good restart. As yellow flags, and who's that having trouble there? As someone, there's all carnage there as Hasselhag and Leroy involved, and Indecisive getting spun around in the midfield. Looks like there's all sorts of dramas there. As there you can see Ben looking up the inside of Newgarden and can't quite do it. And seems to get a good exit though, as he got a few cars at the back having issues as well. Here up the inside comes Ben. That's not going to work. They're going to touch. They do touch. And somehow doesn't spin around there. As Jess, I thought for a second spun it, but didn't. Had a big tank stabber, it looked like there, as she chases down Jake. Behind we've got Niels, Jacko, as up front Newgarden and Ben still sparring away. There's round the outside goes Ben, spurs them into 3rd position. Dan takes there that 4th from 3rd. As now further down the field we've got Jacko and Leroy battling. That is Leroy now ahead of Jacko. Is Jacko going to lunge him back up the inside as defiantly as he can? He will. Does it work? No, it doesn't. It's just there passed by Nils on the exit.
Just want to say, Ben's move on Newgarden, who has now unfortunately dropped to 5th after a mistake into the hairpin. Brilliant move, as we see Yuri now into the pits. What tyre is he going on? He is going onto the mediums. So he's pitting now, getting that one mandatory stop. As Indecisive also in. I think he might have front wing damage. Yeah, he does. I think he had an issue, as we have a yellow flag.
Is that Excite off at turn number? It is Excite off at turn 1. So what's happened there then? So
Indecisive on hards.
He's done 2 stops, has he not?
I believe so. Yeah, he has. But hards is an interesting strategy. Meanwhile, Leroy and Jess having a little scrap. Leroy gets past Jess, and now Jacko is looking on the back of Jess.
Now these two very close together in the standings, and Jacko said he wants to pass Jess and get the job done, and let's see what these two can do then. Jess should get the DRS off of Hasselhag, but we know Jacko's very good on the brakes sometimes, but Jess there, a little bit later on the brakes this time around. A double dose of DRS will come out in due course, but not this lap though. Remember next lap, I believe, because both of them on that. So Jess is going to be under pressure. He's going to have to cover the inside line if she wants to keep the position. Force him to go outside. He's going to look up the inside, can't quite do it there. Late braking for Jess. Holds her line, doesn't hit the wall of the champions. Now she's going to have to try and squeeze. Jacko does the old dummy and then goes to the inside line. Lovely little move from Jacko. Does he get the car stopped? The answer is yes, he does, and that was a lovely little setup there for Jacko. As again yellow flags, and I'm looking to see...
There's nothing. I think the game might be having the yellow flag glitch, and I really hope it's not going to affect the racing tonight.
Yeah, it's just the ghost
as
flag.
Niels has front wing damage.
Niels
I think he hit the front wing on the wall, and he is very slow now.
He's hit it again. He's hitting the wall, and that is big trouble. Is Niels in trouble? Yellow flags as well. Please don't tell me that's a Kiki. A Kiki!
Oh.
Stop spinning! This man, who I adore, is living my curse every time I see him. Poor old Kiki. I just want to hug the man right now. Nils has got damage. Akiki's gone off again, hasn't he? Oh, no.
I think he's lost his head a bit.
Poor Akiki.
I don't blame him.
I think he's gonna. I think he's had enough of me in a minute. In comes Nils, gets to slow down. He was a bit hesitant to choose where he wanted to go, but into the pit he does go for his mandatory stop. That is his second official mandatory stop, because he did do a non-mandatory earlier on, so he will go for a set of medium tyres now and then go to the end of this race. So on goes the new nose. Gingham leads this race from Ben Spurs with 21 laps to go. Newgarden in third from Jake, who's doing a flying result right now in fourth. Then comes Hattelager. He's on a non-mandatory stop as well, so he has to stop one more time this afternoon. And remember that as well. So a few people on alternative strategy. Jake a little bit on the curb right there. Lost the rear, but he's still holding the lines right now. Your championship leader.
Yeah, I just want to say Kingan has absolutely kind of dominated this race. He's led near enough every lap apart from when he's pitted. And I don't know if Ben might be able to catch him or not. It's going to be maybe close at the end. Meanwhile, we have this fight for third between Newgarden, Jake and Leroy. But I don't think anyone's going to make a move into the chicane, but maybe into the first corner as... Oh, that's Leroy into the wall.
Leroy in the wall of champions, and second place they're in trouble. Front wing flying down the straight. I don't know if that was someone else getting damaged or that was just the debris, but that's going to be a long way back to the pit lane. That is a huge amount of damage, and he's going to have to be careful here, because we've got some very, very fast corners coming up. First off, we've got this one, very easy to go into the wall like that. And then we've got the next one, which is out of here, which he's lost his front wing, I think, completely nearly. So he wants to be careful. He's excited. Jess comes up to overtake. He's going to be careful. He doesn't understeer straight in the wall. You can see him being careful. As now, the best thing he'll do is let these guys pass, because he doesn't want to get himself in a spot of bother. But poor old Leroy in trouble. He's going wide and is going to let Jess throw in. Behind him, it's his brother coming up to pass as well.
He had it even worse in his face. As 2 seconds later, he's into the wall. His his brother sets the fastest lap of the race. So definitely not what you wanted to see right after smashing into a wall. But I wonder if he's maybe going to defend his brother a little harsher than everyone else. But no, he doesn't. He lets him through straight away, and that is going to drop him around 10th, 11th. He will be right at the back. But it's not race over. Anything could happen. It's JACKOCAR, and I'm sure something will happen. Meanwhile, Jake and Newgarden fighting for the podium as Yuri sets the fastest lap.
You're doing what easy now, is getting them mixed up. It's so easy, isn't it?
Yeah. Constantly. I keep thinking different names as Ben gets a 3 second. Is that his first 3 second? No, it's a second 3 second, so 6 seconds as Neil sets the fastest lap of the race. So that is going to be costly if he maybe does get Kingan. But we'll have to see, as Leroy has gone on to hard tyres as well, so I'm presuming there's not going to be any rain by the fact these guys have gone on to hards.
Yes, I am 100% presuming that as well, as we ride on board with Jake following Newgarden as well. I do apologise, by the way, if my voice does sound a little bit muffled. I've got hay fever coming up because it is started raining, and I don't like when it rains in the spring because it just sets my hay fever off a lot, so sneezy season might be upon me. Talking of sneezy season, is Jake gonna sniff up the inside? No, he's not.
We have Ben for Spurs in the pits, but meanwhile,
Jake outside. This will be an easier move. There wants to keep careful. He doesn't get on the grass outside line. Late braking, and he sneezes past Newgarden into third position. As out comes Ben in a second. New nose as well, I saw. So and he's going to teleport now. There he goes. It disappears from my screen and get game. There we go.
His camera angles are terrible.
They are.
I hope 22 is going to be better than this because it's just terrible. Yeah, I don't know how they've gone so wrong.
Up front though, we are waiting for a last stop. Now I'm presuming here we're going to see a load of people chuck on another set of mediums around about lap 22.
Yeah, or we can see maybe some extend it and go to the softs, but that would be a risky strategy. Meanwhile, Jacko is right on the back of Newgarden and, well, Jake as well. DRS train is going to really annoy Jacko. I was in the same situation in the Cup Series around here where it's just impossible. Oh, okay, I say that. Jacko, maybe on for a move?
It's great. No, he's not going to
No,
do that.
he's
It's a
gonna back out.
daylight the dollar shot here, isn't it? You hit the wall and you're out the race that easily if you try it. Though, with a little bit of a Swift, he's done this twice now. Is he going to be late braking into turn number 1? That's not going to work. Is he got it stopped? Yes, he has, and it's the Miami livery are pretty much there battling alongside the other Miami livery. It's like Miami Knights here, the outside line, and Jacko there with a bit of jet lag and a little bit of push passes Newgarden into 3rd.
Pretty good move there. The traction on the outside is always difficult to get on, so for him to be able to hold off Newgarden that was a really good move. Now he's going to try and get past Jake and maybe even try and catch up to Kingan for the race win. I'm sure when he saw his qualifying, it was not looking to be here, like fighting for the podium, but here we are as he's catching right up to Jake.
He wants to be careful, doesn't get himself caught up too much, but this should be a little bit of an easy move right now. These two sparring partners, and Jake, I don't think will be too bothered of Jacko passing him, as he'll not defend it too much. Like, didn't really have a choice to defend. Unfortunately, we don't get a double dose of DRS down here, which is a shame. And yellow flags for Akiki, who's made a mistake somewhere again. The poor man, as Jacko now walks off into the distance. Has still got to do one stop as well, but so far in a net P2, I believe. Actually, maybe Ben stuck ahead because he's done his 2 stops and going to the end, but definitely running a very fine result so far.
Yeah, so, well,
never mind.
Seems like you can't speak without something going wrong for a certain driver, as Jacko gets a 3-second penalty.
I mean, on the upside, he's not hit the wall, so there's that one.
Just don't speak too soon. We've seen this too many times now.
But here he comes. Doesn't clap the curb, and see, what did I tell you? He's fine. Right there. Well, talking about who's not fine, it is going to be Mr. Yuri, who, to be fair, well, I say not doing fine, though saying that, he is in a net 6th position, potentially. Maybe, he might be behind Nils. To be fair, Nils has done 2 stops now, even if he's got that damage. So, and we've got Leroy not too far back, so they'll be a bit close, those two potentially. But that'll be definitely an intriguing situation right there. I'm trying to see who's in the pit lane. It is Newgarden, and in comes Jake as well. So both of those guys into the pit stop for their last time, both for a set of soft tyres, and is that medium tyres? A new nose for Jake. Instead of mediums for Newgarden. So Jake there going for a bold strategy. Oh, Chester! That's a shame. And in she comes there, right into that. Though it's not too bad, isn't going to lose too much time from that.
I hate the game for doing that. The double stack, I mean, it makes it a bit more interesting, but it's unfortunate for Jess, but 10th place, it isn't last place. She might have to defend off indecisive, though she will be on the quicker tyre than Leroy, so who knows, she might be able to get past Leroy and make up the ground that she lost, but yeah, very unlucky for Jess.
Yeah, most certainly is there for Jess, but a bit of a calm race so far, not really much more action going on. The top 3 stay as they are. I'm expecting them in the pits, and say that, and guess what, they come in the pits. Now what's Jacko come in the pits?
Stays out.
Damn it. Well, let's see Yuri in the... Nope, never mind. What about Excite? He's going to come in, surely. Nope, never mind. Akiki. So he's got a penalty.
Do wonder if the likes of Jacko and Yuri going to try and extend their tyres to the softs, because I think softs can make it... Well, OKK's done its 10 laps, so...
25, I think, you'll be stopping for instead of soft tyres. And medium tyres probably more... a coverable thing, just in case we get a safety car, really. So I can see why some are going on the strategy, especially likes of Jake. That is a bold strategy from Jake, isn't it?
Yeah, he's going to have to really nurse those tyres right at the end. But if he can do it right, I mean, I kind of nearly had to do that in Canada, the Racing the Cup series, but obviously the rain went and took the hopes of that happening away. But yeah, softs are really nice around here, but at the same time they die off quite quickly. So we'll see if Jake maybe has to do a stop again. But for now, going for the aggressive strategy and hoping for the best, I think, is his strategy for now. Or maybe he can tyre save, who knows. I guess we'll see, as he's right on the back of Nils.
Yeah, first up he's got to go and get Nils goes right up on the braking zone, got a good exit through here. Nils won't have the help of any DRS. And let's see, is he going to burn a little bit of his DRS on? And let's see which way is he going to go. In comes Excite from third position. Nils not going to be defending it too much. He just pulls to the inside there. And on you go. I don't think he wants to battle that too much either, because Jake there on tyres that are going to be struggling. They're a bit of a better exit. Let's see, where is Jake going to come out on all this? First lap of this race. He's going to come out ahead lane of Excite. He's going to come out right behind Lee's 2 as well. So he's on for a very decent result, to be fair, potentially. I mean, he's not, what, how many seconds is he off of first? He's quite a few seconds off of Kingan. So it's going to be a tall order, but he might come out relatively close, potentially. It's around about, what, 17 seconds stop. He might come near the likes of Jacko and Yuri, but I think Kingan there potentially has the ace up the sleeve so far this afternoon. But he'll have Jacko and Yuri both going for a set of soft tyres in the next 3 laps.
Yeah, this race will get interesting, so stick around for sure, because I fully expect Jacko and Yuri, as Yuri gets a 3-second time penalty, talking about him, to maybe be able to chase down Kingan. Saying that though, Kingan is nearly a pit stop ahead of him, and will be catching them quite quickly on much fresher mediums, so it's going to be an interesting final 10 laps for sure.
The one thing these guys don't need is a safety car. That very much will put a spanner in the proverbial works for them right now, and that is, like I said, the last thing they want. But so far so good. We've only had a virtual safety car in this race, I believe. Was it actually? No, I think it was. No, we didn't have a safety car.
Safety car, yeah.
It was a full safety car. My apologies. That was from Thomas Nevert's potential brake issue we had earlier. There's a bit of a tank slapper there from Nils, as I said, about safety cars potentially. Now comes the mistakes. Further down the field, we've got Excite from Hasselager, Jess down there in 10th from Indecisive, who she is pretty clear of currently. We've got Okeke down the back, a lap down, coming up, I believe, nearly on 2 laps down, actually, this afternoon, unfortunately for him. We've now, what, 11 laps to go, so we should be seeing people in a few minutes' time.
Yeah. We also need to...
Oh, and Jacko in the wall! Jacko in the wall! And that they're big trouble, and that what I just mentioned, it's someone didn't need to do. And Jacko in the wall of champions, right in the most inopportune time. And, well, he's gone and blown his chances for certainly a win. I think he got lucky about damage, but he hit the wall hard. And just when I just said about him, and now look what he's done.
I did not expect that. I went off to look at the battles and then he shouted and suddenly I see Jacko dropping down. Wow, I did not expect that. Well, I wonder if his tyres are really starting to kick in with the rears. And that's very unfortunate for him. However, it's not all race over. He'll still come out in solid 8th, 7th. And obviously on fresher tyres he will be able to catch up, but yeah, he definitely did not need that, and I'm sure he's not very happy with himself for that. So yeah, as I was saying before, the penalties are really going to affect this race if we get any safety cars. I wonder if Jacko actually has front wing damage. He is understeering quite a bit, though he is fighting Ben for Spurs. He isn't just letting this go out of fight, as Yuri's now into the pits.
Yeah, Jacko will be
sure
he's quite... as well. Oh, it's so up pit lane. It's dangerous, isn't it? He gets it stopped, and he's going to be frustrated with that, isn't he? That was a clinical error he didn't need to make as a Yuri, and his. I will say I adore that livery. I'm going to say he's going to come out. Very nice. And where's he going to come out in then? So
6th place, just ahead of Excite,
and right behind New Garden on fresher tyres. This race for the podium is not done.
Maybe for the win as well, who knows. It's one safety car and it could all change, because Kingan and Ben can both pit, but they will drop and lose track position. So yeah, this is going to be a very interesting race. Meanwhile, Jake is still going on with those 5-lap tyres on the softs. Okeke did have to pit again. I don't know if that was front wing damage or not, but yeah, he had to pit again on 12 laps softs, so I think these softs will just about make it. Meanwhile, Yuri looking on New Garden, As who's that? He's gone straight off. That's okay, isn't it? Get out of the way.
Out of the way, a little bit late there for Nils as well. A bit caught out up the inside will go. Excited, here comes Yuri on Newgarden, and it's the Speed Brothers go up, the Speed Comrades going at it, might I say, and it is now that 4th position for Yuri Haselager there, and decisive for time penalty. In terms of penalties, by the way, what it's going to do in this race, with 9 seconds for Yuri, he's just going to have to try and wing it and get as many positions as he can. I think the win, unless something catastrophic happens, might be off the cards. As out comes Ben, out comes Nils. This is going to promote the likes of Haselager, Jacko and Jess up a few positions. It'll be awfully close in turn number 1, actually, with a few of these. It's going to be close. Here coming up the exit the pit lane. You want to be careful then for Ben. Jess has to back out of it there, as you don't want to collide there. As Jacko look up the inside there of Leroy, gets the job done into now 6th position. The man who is running with a little bit of anger right now, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. Also noticed that Ben has done a 3rd stop, so his mediums could not make it to the end of the race, I wonder. Meanwhile, as he's going to try and get past Leroy, that was very brave, and he added a back out at the end. Meanwhile, though, at the front, we have Yuri on the back of Jake, and he flies through with no issue. Now he needs to somehow gain 10 seconds to Kingan and then another practic 10 seconds.
I don't think that's happening, but let's see.
He's needing a miracle. As he sets the fastest lap of the race, so he's quickest man on track so far. As Ben looking on the back of Jacko. Jacko will be absolutely frustrated. He does not want.
Oh, he's gone deep. No, they've both gone deep, and this is going to allow Charlie through. Which way is he going to go? He's going to force him to the outside. Oh, they touch, and that was a little bit closer. Oh, he's twitching, and to the outside, he's still twitching. And are they going to give each other just enough room? Let's see. Is Jacko going to be late on the brakes? We know how good he is on the brakes. No, he's not. Ben then up into 6th position, but that was lucky there for the pair of them. They didn't end up snapping straight left into the pit wall, because I've seen that before around there, and I don't like seeing it very often there, but Button and Hamilton did that once upon a time. But Jacko, from being in 6th, now back in 7th.
It kind of reminded me of what happened in, I think it was 2014 with Massa and Perez, where one nearly runs into the back and off into turn 1. However, Jacko just about saving the car, which is very good to see. I'm surprised he's gone on the mediums. I've just realised he went onto mediums and not softs. So he's going to be slower, much slower than Ben for Spurs, who's now going to be able to fly from the distance with the tyre advantage. So quite surprised that, as Jess has caught up to Leroy, so I might see a move from Jess soon.
Yeah, I think Leroy on those hard tyres, they just don't seem to be working very well. As Jessica through the chicane, again having a mistake through there. She's had a few of them this afternoon, but carrying on a merry way, so that's what you like to do. He hasn't hit all the champions since I cursed her earlier on. Has he hit all the champions? Up front though, Kingan, 8 seconds. Akiki with a 3-second time penalty. That's his 9th so far. In terms of penalties, by the way, those who haven't is Kingan, we've got Newgarden, we've got Excite, and we've got Jess, who haven't got penalties. Remember, the crucial thing normally in these races of not getting penalties is if we get a safety car, which is very common to happen in these races near the end of this race, that is going to really play into some people's hands, indecisive in the pit lane.
Yeah, it looks like he has front wing, well, he had front wing damage. I'm not quite sure what he did wrong. But again, another driver who's just been quite unlucky tonight, as he's got overtake going out of the pit lane. I'm hoping his ERS isn't stuck. I don't know if that's been a common theme. He's still got it on. I don't know if that's a driver. Okay, it's not. It is a driver choice. I had a little concern that maybe he might have had, as Yuri drifts through turn 2 there. I thought he might have had an ERS glitch, but yeah, no, nothing.
Indeed, if you get, by the way, in the chat, or to get who you think your driver of the day is, votes will close at the end of this race. You have 5 laps to decide who you want your driver of the day to be. As we look at to see who has jumped up the most positions in this race. It's Jake up 8 positions so far. We've had Ben up 7. We've got Kingan up 2. We've got those that have lost positions: Jess, Haselager, Nils indecisive up 1. Akiki down 7 as well. He's had a fortunate race this afternoon. He was doing quite well in qualifying, but unfortunately just had a few mistakes in the race. It might just been because I was here. as I've established every time I commentate on him, he dies. So I'm not putting one and one together here, but I am.
Now, I think Kingan has a little bit of an issue here. We have Indecisive, who is right behind him on fresher tyres, much fresher tyres, should I say. So I wonder, can Indecisive overtake? He can he? Can't
Yeah,
he?
he can.
It was only on the safety car, so Kingan might get a bit frustrated here. As yellow
flags down the straight, and who's that? Is that a Kiki pulling to the inside? It is. I thought there was a big crash on the straight, and it's just a Kiki getting out of the way as through comes everyone into the chicane. As well, surprised we haven't actually seen a car out of the race through the chicane though. We've seen a few people clout it extremely heavily, but somehow no one's out of the race there.
I reckon someone surely must have front wing damage. It might actually be Jacko.
Yeah, we did.
Because obviously he has clouted those curbs. No, floor damage. Sorry. Or as well where he spun. Did he touch the sausage curb?
Possibly.
Because that is a killer for your floor. I don't know why. Every time I touch it, straight away floor damage. Not major, but it's a little bit, which is always a nightmare to have. And I do wonder if maybe OKK might have floor damage as well, because he's been spinning a ton tonight. So I do wonder if that may have an effect. Floor damage is awful. I found that out the other day.
32
yeah, last week.
35, meaning that the last safety car window is this lap. So if you're going to get safety car, you will do. You can see all your comments, by the way, from the bot, who is our favourite supporter this afternoon. The bot today, he loves. Well, it loves us so far this afternoon. But Keegan leading from Yuri, in between them, Indecisive there. As well, in terms of penalties, by the way, and what it's going to do in the grand scheme of things, it's going to promote a few people up positions. I think Yuri might be a little bit more safer than others because he has got a bit more of a buffer over the likes of Newgarden. If he can keep putting that gap open, he needs another a couple of seconds, I'd say, right there, and he should be pretty safe. He's got a 7-second gap over Newgarden, then we've got Excite down in 5th, so he should be between around about 4th to 5th position as things stand if he doesn't keep pushing the way he's going, which he is. The gap is opening up more and more for him so far.
Yes, looks like Excite might be able to get Newgarden here. However, oh no, he hasn't got a penalty either. So this is actually a fight for actual track position here. So this will be a tough fight. We've got 2 laps to go. Newgarden will not want to let Excite through. But he also needs to make sure he doesn't lose any more time to the guys ahead, as Niels gets past Jess for 9th place. However, it is all to play for. It's a little battle for 8th now, it's kind of turned into, as Niels, double overtake there, past Jess and then Leroy, one after the other. That was a very good little run he had there.
Yeah, very nice little move between those two there as Kingham, like I said, just holding that line right now, 6 seconds up the road then from Yuri. Ben has picked up a time penalty. That's his 12th of the afternoon. Now, this is really going to do the race as Kiki off at turn number 1 yet again. Unfortunately, he's on his 31st lap of this afternoon as the leader's coming on to begin that 34. And I tell you what, Indecisive now ahead of Kingham right now. So those two have switched positions here on that 34 as they're battling as Excite now past Newgarden. So those two have switched. These two don't want to be doing this too much because they are going to start losing touch a little bit potentially from your second position, who they are battling with, remember. Gap is what, 9 seconds, I think, give or take now?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's about 9-10 seconds, so it's on the bubble really if they're going to get this position. I think they are just potentially out, so it's going to be close. If this was the last lap of the race, they'd be nice and dandy, but unfortunately we've got one more to go. We are on the penultimate lap. We are literally about to begin the fun lap in just a few seconds time as well.
Yeah, it has been a very dominant display for Kingham. Not even a single penalty in sight. The only issue he's had is Indecisive getting past him in the last lap. Apart from that, it's been a very I can't say that word today.
Dominant.
Anyway, it's been a good win for him. Well, will be a good win, presuming he doesn't have any issues in this last lap.
And Yuri has confirmed that he will not finish on the podium with a 12-second time penalty right there. That is going to be a damper on his spirits, I think. But he's driven a pretty decent race, to be fair. He's got a big gap, to be fair, to the cars behind. It's 10 seconds, so he'll drop down into 5th position. So excited on the podium, it looks like, so far. But it is King, and then coming through the middle sector, it's got to be one of our 4 driver of the days, as Nils picks up a time penalty, 18 seconds for him as well. So quite a few people picking up time penalties, but it is Kingan, who's driven an extremely good race so far. He's got one right-hander, one other right-hander, and a left to go. And here will be a winner there, we'll believe indecisive. We'll probably move over and then and back through to, at least so he doesn't have to do another lap. No, we'll sort of see, as you can see a Kiki crossing line right now in 12th. As here we are then. Kingan, he might be running a little bit low on fuel. In fact, he's running very low on fuel. I think he's starting a slow on the fuel. But he'll be safe. He can let the car run a little bit out of fuel because he's got the gap, he's got the time, and it is Kingan then. He will take the victory here in Canada.
Very good drive. He actually got the lap 18 stage win as well, so just to add to his win, he gets that point as well, which will be very good for his playoffs.
Yuri in 2nd. Is he going to finish there? No, he's not. No, he's not. So 4th position then. Jake in 5th. Ben will drop down the order a few positions, I think, with his 12. Well, careful, doesn't do that too much. He loses front wing. So he'll finish there, but will drop behind Jacko. Nils has got 18 seconds, so he's not going to do a lot. So Jess might jump up into around about 7th, 8th position then for him, as we are just waiting for our last 2 drivers. That is of OKK and Mr. Indecisive to finish the line, and that is your race result right there. Kingan winning the race, my driver of the day right there, and we've got to pick another couple, so let's have a little think who's driven very well so far. Who would you say for another driver of the day?
I'll go with Jake. He started at the back as Ben's glitched with a 20-second. Yeah, we'll ignore that. He hasn't dropped that far down. Yeah, I would... What happened?
Kiki and Indecisive decided to go and play bowling nearly at the finish line. That was close between those two.
I will go with, yeah, like the game says, Jake for driver of the day. Had the quality ban. Yeah, he didn't start right at the back, but it has been a very good drive from him as well to make his way through the field. And he had a good strategy as well. Did he make those softs at the end? He did, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, very good drive then from Jake to make those tyres last, because I don't think I would be able to do that. I don't think most of us would. I think he did, what, 20 to 35. He done
15 laps.
15 laps on softs. That is incredible from Jake, so yeah, congrats to him.
Well, it is a lovely, lovely race there from a lot of people. And I tell you what, Luke, on the top step of that podium, it's going to be a very, very happy Mr. Kingan, or Mr. Isaac from Excite in 2nd. Newgarden in 3rd, and I'm looking to see who's not got penalties and who has got penalties. Just there again in 7th position for her, doing a good job as well. So if you have to pick 4 driver of the days, I'm going to give it... I'm going to give Jake and Kingan my 2, and you get to choose your 2.
I'll go with, ignore, because obviously Ben's 20-second isn't actually real. So I'll give it to Ben, because he gained 6 places throughout the whole race. I'll also go with, let's go with Jess, because she didn't get a single penalty throughout that. And, yeah, she drove a consistent race despite having a bit of bad luck at the start of the race. So yeah, I'll give it to her.
Indeed, so there is your 4 drive of the day, and for once I haven't chosen Jess myself, so there we go. I mean, to be fair, I was going to, but I'm not allowed to anymore, because apparently I'm biased if I do that, so, never mind. So, anyway, so there is that then, and indeed, thank you very much for joining us in this very warm, sunny day in England. It's boiling hot again. It was just absolutely bucketing it down with rain. Now it's really sunny and warm. I'm melting. So, thank you very much for Kieran for joining me today. And
thank you for letting me commentate with you.
For his first comms in a year. But I've been Evil. Kieran has been Kieran. Until next time, take care. Goodbye.